Hi everyone, it's Judy, and today I'm going to do a full face using pharmacy products. So if you would like to see how I created this particular look, all from products bought at my local pharmacies. In the UK, drugstores are generally referred to as pharmacies because they also sell medication as well as body products and face products and stuff. So most of the things that I bought were from Boots and Superdrug. So if you would like to see how I created this, then please keep watching and I'll get onto that video right now. Okay, so yesterday I did the full face of supermarket products. So today I'm going to do the full face of pharmacy products here. And my definition of pharmacy is pharmacy products that aren't available in the supermarket. There is some overlap. So, for example, in this country, Maybelline and Rimmel are available in both the supermarket and the pharmacy, or at least my local Boots. And I haven't actually walked into a Superdrug recently, so I'm not sure what is duplicated between supermarkets and Superdrug because there isn't one too close to me. So that's what I'm working with at the moment. And I'm just going to start. I've already moisturized and put on my sunscreen for the day. And the other one that I'm adding to this list is the Body Shop, because the price of the Body Shop in this country is comparable with the cost of makeup from the pharmacy. So that's to give you an idea of the criteria I'm using. So yesterday I was using supermarket value stuff, so most things under £1. Today I'm using things, sorry, not under £1, under £10 per item. Maximum price would be about £10. Today I'm using items that are anywhere from about, the pharmacy changes so much. Some of the things are available for £6, £5, and they go up to £15, £16. So it's kind of that mid-range price range for stuff. I do have all of the items listed. I will put it in the description box, plus the full prices as they are currently available as of today. And I will tell you about some little deals that I managed to pick up along the way. So let's get started. I'm going to start with the Smashbox Primer Water. This is a sample size of it, and I'll explain that in a minute if I can find the nozzle, right? So this is comparable to the Unique Rose Water Primer. It has a slightly more chemically smell. The Unique one smells very rosy and bright, as it were. And then to go over that one, I'm going to do, I bought a deal from Boots. You can get the Smashbox, well you could, I'm not sure if you can at the moment, but you could get the Try It Out box. And the Try It Out box came with a sample size each of the Photo Finish Hydrating Under Eye Primer, that toner water that I just used, their Photo Finish Foundation Primer, and the Photo Finish Shadow Primer. Now, if you were to buy the full size of all four of these, it will cost you in excess of £80, and I paid £20. So I think that's fairly good value. They've lasted quite well. And if I can get that deal again, I will go back and get it because I thought it was very good value. I have a funny feeling that it's one of these limited time offers. So I'm going to use the Photo Finish Foundation Primer. Again, I'm going to use about the same amount that I use when I'm using my Unique Primer. Dot, 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 dot. It's got a very glycerin-y, silicone-y feel to it. Smooths over, glides over beautifully. Doesn't profess to fill in any pores, just professes to be a primer. And then to go with that, I'm going to use the eyeshadow primer. So again, I'm going to just use tiny amounts, literally little tiny squidge. Now, in my supermarket video, which I'll put a link for it down below, I used the Maybelline Colour Tattoo in, I think it was Creme de Nude, which also doubles up as an eyeshadow, if you like that particular colour. Right, so there we go. There's the primer on the shadow on the eyes. And then because the kit had it, I wouldn't normally use it, but it was in the kit and it'd be rude not to use it. I'm going to use the under eye primer. If I appear to be looking over your head, I do apologise. I've had the mirror set up behind the laptop. And I'm trying to keep as close to the laptop as I can so that you can see everything up close and personal. Now again, because I have it and I'm going to use it, and I'm trying to use it up, I have, where's it gone? I have the 17 Flawless Poreless Primer. 17 is Boots's budget range, shall we say? Is that probably the nice way to put it? It is. It's made by Boots. So this particular product is made in Italy, and I'm just going to put that over where I have problems with my pores. I'm not sure why someone who was... the 17 range seems to be aimed at teenagers, but I'm not sure why someone who is a teenager would have problems with pores unless they've got... Oh, I don't know. If you're a teenager and you're having a problem with pores, then please enlighten me. I didn't have large pores when I was a teenager. I did have acne, but and teenage was a long time ago for me. So I'm just going to put this over those pores, and that's my face primed and ready to go. So now I'm going to use... I have the Boots do a colour matching service where they basically take a Pantone sweep of your skin in 3 different places on your face and neck, and then match that to their nearest colour shade of foundation. They don't actually do a customised your colour of foundation, but they get you as close to their colour as they possibly can. And there's usually a warm and a cool option. So I have the Beautifully Matte Foundation. It says the coverage is medium to full. I would kind of debate that. I think it's probably closer to medium than to full. And I have the colour Warm Ivory. What I have done, when I went in and got my colour matching done, I wasn't 100% certain about the colour because I was in a pharmacy and the lights just weren't right. So what she did for me was she very kindly pumped out a few pumps of the Warm Ivory and put it into this little pot. And I've been using this little pot to dispense it out to, and I have to say it's keeping the bottle nice and clean. It's a good way to work. So I'm just going to take a few drops of this and dot it around my face. Just checking to make sure I've got my sponge ready, lined up to go. And then today, for a bit of variety, I'm going to use my fake silly sponge. Now, if you've seen these are strange little things. They feel like I guess a bit like a breast implant. Not that I've ever had a breast implant. Don't need it. But they just, see, they're all wrinkly and fun. But seems to do the job, so I'm just going to start by swiping that around a bit. And it's actually a pretty good colour match for my skin, I'm finding. I was a bit dubious at first. Thought it was too dark because it seems to be darker than almost all of my other foundations. But, you know, it's not too bad. And it's pretty close to my unique colour. So I guess I'm getting my colour matching right now these days. Right, so once that's all spread around, I'm just going to tap that in. Might fast forward through this so that you don't have to watch it all. Okay. I'm not sure about that as coverage. Feels a bit patchy. Oh well, we'll see what happens when I blur it out with the brush. And in fact, let's take my powder brush and just buff that in a bit. Here we go. That's better. Pretty good. Not very happy about how it's sinking into my skin here. But I have to say that flawless, that pore blurring, the Poreless primer from 17 seems to be doing its job here. I'm just going to attach my light to my laptop so that you can see, hopefully a little bit better. That's a bit better there. There we go. Okay, so yeah, not too bad. Okay, now I always set my foundation after I've done all of the liquids on my face. So the next thing I'm going to use is the 17 Brows That Brow Kit. It comes with a pencil, a well-used, they call it a wax, and then a powder, and then there's a highlighter here to just highlight the brow. And you can see I've used this quite a lot. I quite like it. So I'm just going to use the pencil to kind of outline those brows. Really more of a filler than an outline. I go back in and outline it with the wax. This just colours the skin underneath the hairs a bit. The wax actually colours the hairs a bit. And then I've got an angled liner brush. Just go in ever so slightly with that wax. And we're just going to pick out and define the eyebrows a bit. Okay, let's do the other eyebrow. Trying not to block the mirror. Sorry, block the laptop so that you can see me. Okay, and then just take some of that powder, and you'll see that everything darkens up a bit more when I put the powder in. But the powder just sets the wax in place and stops it all from shifting. Always a good thing. Generally, that's true with most products on your face. If you powder them in, they'll last longer. Oh, sorry. A bit more of that powder. Okay. So there are my brows done. Okay, and now we're going to go in on the eyes. Now I'm using from Freedom. This is the Pro 12 Audacious Mattes palette, and this is £4. £4 from Superdrug, which is just amazing, and it's all so pristine and new that I haven't taken the haven't taken the stickers off them, so I can't get it open. Hang on, bear with me. Right, let's try that again. Yes, there we go. Woohoo! And it has 12 colours in it, all the sorts of brown mattes that one might need to do a brown face, brown eyeshadow look. And it has a two-sided sponge brush, which I'm just going to put aside because I don't particularly like using the sponges except for particular things. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Studio 5 big fluffy brush, for want of a better word for it. And yeah, none of these are named, so we're just going to go in with, I think I'm going to go in with this colour here and swish that around a bit, and then just coat the entire. Now I could have used that light colour that was in my brow kit as well to do this, but I thought, oh no, what blazes, let's use this one. Okay, and all that does is that cancels out some of the, covers over some of the brown and give me the veins and redness in my eyelid, and then also gives me a nice basis from which to blend on top. Okay. So this was £4 from Superdrug. Okay, now someone is going to tell me that Superdrug is not really a pharmacy because it doesn't actually have a pharmacy in it, but you know what I mean. It's a cross between, it's not a supermarket because it only sells things that you would find in a pharmacy that doesn't have a pharmacy, that does have a pharmacy, if you get what I mean. So, right. Anyway, I'm not going to get into an argument with people about things. Right, so now I'm going to take, I think I will take this colour underneath that one. They seem to kind of go in threes this way, so I think I might go with this middle colour here and just use that as a transition shade. And I'm just going to take that into my, what I refer to as my upper crease, because I have quite hooded eyes. And that just adds a bit of dimension into my eyes. A bit more. Again, I'm doing the same technique that I do with all of my stuff. Just a tiny little tap. Add a bit more. Don't go overboard. Go slowly and blend, blend, blend. Okay. Right, I'm going to take that fluffy brush again and just blend that in. Now again, using that crease brush, I'm just going to take in this darker brown, the end of the palette. Again, little tiny amount on the brush. Take that into the middle of my crease. Same thing on the other eye. And then I'm going to take that big fluffy brush again and I'm going to blend it out. How's that? Very subtle at the moment. Right, before I go any further, I'm just going to take this medium brush. It's slightly flat, and I'm just going to take that end browned in again and just go under the lower lash line to balance out the upper lash line. Now the thing about this brush is that we'll deliver a more intense colour. The same colour will be delivered more intensely than that crease brush. So I'm going to take that same flat brush and just take it into the bottom of that crease and just darken up that corner a bit so that I've kind of got a backwards C building up here. Same thing on the other eye, which I always have a hard time doing. Sometimes I wish I was ambidextrous. Okay. And then I'm just going to take that fluffy brush again and blend that out a little bit. Okay. Right, so finally I'm just going to take this deep brown here at the bottom, the third of that 3 there. And I'm just going to pack that into the corner of the eye lid. Same on the other side, pack it in to about halfway and only on the lid, which I struggle to do because I can't actually focus on my left lid while I'm doing stuff on it. And then back to the fluffy brush and blend it in. And this makeup blends in so beautifully. For £4, it's just an amazing palette. The only issue is no glitters, but we can solve that. We'll solve that later. Right, now it's just feeling a little bit grey at the moment, so I'm just going to take my other fluffy brush seems to have gone walkabout. Oh, that'll be the one that I dropped on the floor yesterday, won't it? So I'm going to take a slightly rounder brush and I'm going to go back into this warmer brown here. Will I do that? No, I think I'm going to... No, I'll go back into the warmer brown here and I just want to warm up that crease a bit. There we go. That's looking a bit better. It's just feeling a little bit cool and, you know, it's overcast out there. I want to feel warm and it's actually really cold. For the 27th of April, it's really cold. Okay, don't like the blending that's going on there, so let's blend, blend, blend. What's it doing to my lid there? Like it's forming a crease. How's that? Get a good view up my nose. And I'll just take that the flat one again and go in with that darker brown and go under the eyelid again, just to smoke that out a little bit. Okay. So, with my pen brush that you saw yesterday, it's a bit cleaner than it was yesterday, I'm just going to smudge out that bottom line a bit. Okay. Right, now we've got a bit of fallout, so... Right. So how's that looking? Not bad. Right, so for contour, I went into Boots this morning and I bought Soap and Glory, the Mighty Contourer. Now this comes with a cream contour and then a cream blush and a cream highlighter. I'm not sure if that's a highlighter or a concealer. Let's see how it swatches. Difficult to tell. Don't know if you can see that. Very, very subtle. Okay, let's try the blush. Not usually a fan of cream blushes. I just seem to argue with them. That might be a little too peachy for me. The problem I find with my local Boots is that quite often there are no testers. Okay, so we're going to see if we can make this work. I have a funny feeling that the blush will work well when it's combined with something else as well. So let's see how this goes. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my fingers for this. I'm a bit nervous. Well, the other thing is it doesn't have a mirror, so if you're out and about and on the go, this one's probably going to be a bit frustrating to use. Ooh, that's interesting. Let's see if we can blend that out now. I thought it was less pigmented than that. I guess it shows you that swatches on your hand quite often look quite different from how they appear on your face. So you need to be careful And I think pharmacies suffer from the same issue that supermarkets do, in that quite often there is no natural light for you to go and check things out with, particularly if the pharmacy, our Boots in my local hometown is inside a shopping mall, so there is no natural light inside. But mind you, that's the same for the Body Shop, which is just across the walkway from it, so I guess you can't really judge it on that basis. Okay, this might be a bit. This is in the shade Fair's Fair, and there was another one that said it was medium that actually looked a bit lighter, and I went for this one because the tone in this was a bit grayer, the other one was a bit bronze, and I just, with my skin tone, it kind of needs something that's a bit, I quite like that, a bit of a cooler colour. Now this contour and highlighter is called the Mighty Contour, and it retails for £12. So it's not a cheap contour. It's not the most expensive contour I've ever tried. Certainly more expensive than my Primark one, which I think was £3, something silly like that. There's that blusher. The blusher's, again, the blusher's looking better on my cheek than it did in the pot and on the back of my hand. So I'm reasonably pleased with that. Okay, not sure I'm happy about using my fingers for this, but I don't think I have a brush that's suitable. Right, so let's see what the highlight's like. Oh, okay. Nice thing is it's doesn't appear to be settling into my fine lines. Let's see how it copes over that mole. Does that make the mole look really, really stupid? No, it'll do. Okay. Enough for highlighter? Don't know. Let's see if we can bling it up just a little bit. Right now, this is the number 7 Skin Illuminator, and this retails for £12.50 for a 30ml bottle. But again, I waited and bought this as part of a gift pack. So if you spent, I think it was £15 on Boots products, Boots number 7 products, then you could get a little gift pack that had various bits and pieces in it, including a lipstick. And that got me a voucher for a blusher, so it all worked out in the end. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this illuminator on my cheeks, just over that, because I think we need a little bit more bling today. Oh, that's a bit too much. It goes a long way. I will warn you that this little tiny bottle spurts out like you wouldn't believe. I'm going in completely the wrong place for this, but the concealer will sort this out. Okay, so that gives me a little bit more highlight. I'll work that one out in a minute. And my concealer that I'm going to use today, if I can find it, there it is, it's hiding behind the laptop. Come here, come. Right, it says it doesn't want to be used. It doesn't want to be used. I'm channeling Anwen. Okay, this is the Body Shop All-in-One Tinted Concealer and Primer. And it is a very stiff formula, but quite and quite dark, so it's kind of doesn't brighten. It matches my skin tone. It only comes in one colour, and I'm fairly sure it kind of disappears. I'm not sure that it actually does anything as a concealer, but it's what I've got to work with, so. Okay, now what I'm just going to do, I'm going to do a little cheat here. See if this works. I think it will. Right, in the Makeup Revolution palette that I was using before, not Makeup, the Freedom one, there's all of these really light colours across the top. So I think what I'm just going to do is I'm going to take a flat brush that hopefully doesn't have too much colour on it. And I'm just going to take that lightest colour here, dusting of it, and I'm just going to sweep under the eye. Yeah, that's working. And that will just set that concealer and give a bit of colour under the eye to just lift that highlighter a bit. To highlight under the eye a bit. Cover up some of those dark circles. There we go. Just a little, again, same technique. Little and often. There we go. Who says you have to use eyeshadow for above the eye? You can use it for all sorts of things. You know, if I wanted to lighten here a bit, just cancel out some of that contouring that I did earlier. I can do that. Right. So now we're going to go on to eyeliner. I've got two eyeliners that I'm trying out here. The first one is from Makeup Revolution. And it says it's waterproof, so we're going to put that to the test. Well, if it rains, we'll put it to the test, or if my eyes water, it'll put it to the test. It comes in a little bottle like this, and it was £1.50. It's a super drug. If you are looking for pharmacy makeup on a budget, Superdrug's a great place to go to because they've got some of the less expensive end of the market on there. Now, have I got a mirror attached to anything here? Okay, no I don't, so we're just going to go through things. Right, it has a really fine little tip on it. And I'm just going to go in and just do the upper eyeliner with this one. Now, the observant amongst you will notice that I don't do a wing, or not much of one. I have hooded eyes. My eyes come down at the corner. If I do a wing when my eyebrows are lifted, you know, I think it should be there. By the time I put my eyes down, it's curved down this way. So I just line the eye, and I am going to get a mirror because I just can't do this without a mirror. Sorry, bear with me. Okay, here we go. And see if I can get in close enough so you can see what I'm doing without me blocking the camera. And I only go from the center of my eye out to the corner. And then I fill in that little bit there. Make sure the other eye is the same. And I never get a really good wing. I'm just not, maybe when I've practiced a bit more, I'll get a good wing. But in the meantime, what I just do is I take my pen brush or bullet brush and I just gently smudge that out a little bit. And then it just looks as though I've put on normal eyeliner. I don't get on very well with liquid liners, as I told you in yesterday's video. Right, so for the bottom one, when I was at Boots this morning and picked up the Soap and Glory stuff, they had a deal. If you spent more than £14, you got a little gift box that had 4 products in it. So this is it here. Beauty Flash Pack at the moment, and it comes with the Sexy Mother Pucker Extreme Plumping Lip Gloss, the Super Cat Carbon Black Extreme Eyeliner Pen, and the Thick and Fast High Definition Collagen Coat Mascara. And if you were to buy all 3 of those products separately, the mascara I think was on its own was £10. The eyeliner pen is £6, and the lip plump is £10. So you're getting about £26 for free if you spend £14. Since I was going to spend the £14 anyway, I feel as though I got the money. Right. So something's dropped, but I'll pick it up later. I think it's the brow kit. So on my lower line, I'm going to try the Super Cat liquid liner. And I'm just going to go in on that bottom line. What I like about this one is the, let's just check to make sure I've got enough. Yep, got the ink coming through. It's quite a stiff brush. So what I can do is get a good, well, I was hoping I'd get a good in-depth line with this. I'm not sure that it's working out all that well. Let's try the other eye, see what I get. I might take a bit more practice to get this one right. Left eye's better than the right. But again, let's take that bullet brush again. And I'll just smudge in. Make it look kind of deliberate. Okay. Not entirely happy with that. Might take a little bit more practice to get that one right. It's a different brush from the ones I'm used to using, so I'm still getting used to it. Okay. So, but it does show to be, it's showing up on my hand to be quite waterproof. See? Not smudging all that much at all. Okay. So I think I need a bit more on my cheek. So I'm now going to go in with the number 7. This is the number 7, where's it gone? Blusher. Number 7 Match Made Powder Blusher in Peony Mist. This retails for £9. Now again, I got this as part of a deal. At the time, if you spent more than £15, you got that little gift kit, and part of the gift kit was the blusher that comes with this. So I'm just going to take that blusher. I'm in the process of depotting it so that I've got more space in my makeup bag for more makeup. And we're just going to take in a little bit, quite pigmented, so go easy on it. Nope. Time to go and get the small person from school. Hurry up this up. Okay, now mascara. I'm just going to take, this is the 17 waterproof mascara in black. I do not like that eyeliner. I really don't. I'll have to fix that later. Okay. But in the meantime, yeah, it takes ages to dry. And with my wrinkles, that sometimes I've got to get moving a bit faster, like right now. Okay. Quite like the wand on this. It's got a tapered end towards the end of it, so I can get in and get those fine lashes on my inner corners. My eyes are so small, but I have to go carefully with that. Right, so that's mascara. So now we're going to move on to lip. Where did my lip go? There it is. Okay, and I'm using the NYX Liquid Suede lipstick in, what did I say? Tea and Cookies. And again, this is another one that I tried inside a pharmacy that didn't have an outdoor, and I'm not keen on the colour. It's just too light. Too baby pink. It looks great in the bottle. It's a nice colour, nice nude in the bottle. But once it goes out onto the lips, and it does matte down nicely. Now, before we go any further, I'll do my lip gloss last. The final thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to set all of this with the NYX HD Studio Photogenic finishing powder in translucent. Now, Bobbi Brown says that you should never use a translucent powder because it shows up all of the photo flash, because it usually has titanium in it. But I'm finding it very difficult to find a pale enough translucent powder, except for what Bobbi does. But £35, £37 for a finishing powder is a bit out of my reach at the moment. Wait until my full face using high-end products video. Everything except foundation, because I'm not buying a high-end foundation. I used to have a Bobbi Brown one, but I've used it all up. So loved my Bobbi Brown stuff, but it just is very expensive. Okay. And then to finish off, I'm just going to use some of that Soap & Glory Sexy Mother Pucker Extreme Plump Lip Gloss. And what I found with this is that when you put it on, your lips tingle. Apparently they're supposed to. Okay. Right, so now we'll take the hair out, the ears out, and there we go. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. There you go, that's the final look. The brown eyes are quite nice. We'll see how the foundation wears. I'll see if I can do a check-in before I finish for the evening. Not sure about that lip colour at all. Really not sure about it. It looks startlingly different. I've had this face on for, let's say 5 hours when I first started it. And I'm just having a quick look at it and before I head into choir rehearsal. So the foundation seems to have held up quite well. It seemed to smooth itself out after a while and actually improved. I guess some of the excess was worn off. Yeah, I did change that lipstick because that pink was just horrible on me. My left eye seems to have held up better than my right. But that's usual as well. I'm quite used to that. It probably looks a bit dark here because oh, that's better. Slightly better light there. Can you see it's still darker on my left than it is on my right. Some of the eyeliner has completely come off, particularly on this side. It just swiped off into my face. But overall, I'm not too unimpressed with that. And now I need to go into choir rehearsal. So thank you very much for taking the time to spend time with me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye!